Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? This is Moltritz. Thank you for viewing this video and welcome to my channel. Today, we are in Timewalking Dungeons. It's taking us back to Cataclysm. It's time to do the End Time Dungeon. This one was a huge surprise to me. When I did the random group finder, I did not remember doing this in Cataclysm, but I went back and looked and I had the achievements for it. But when I logged in, it's been so many years, I had no idea what I was supposed to do. I was like, guys, do you remember how to do this? Because I don't really remember how to do it. And I seen this portal, and I was like, yeah, we probably have to take that first thing. You know, a little bit started coming back to me at a time. And after I started doing this dungeon, I was like, holy crap. I kind of remember this, and this is awesome. I love these time-walking dungeons. I'm really happy with them. It has a good feel, and it's a great way just to break up your normal routine and get time-walking badges towards all the cool things you could buy. This is like the spine of Deathwing that's like chilling in that loading screen there. I think that's pretty cool. Actually, it's Deathwing up there, so it's like another aspect or a dragon. And you can see one of the group mates is riding me because I was in travel form, and you can hop on my back. I go into bear. I'm like, you guys ready? Just checking with the group, make sure everybody's all good to go. This is so, it just reminds me of Legion, or excuse me, it reminds me of Wrath of the Lich King. Like, if I seen these mobs and this location, I'd be like, this isn't Cataclysm, this is a Wrath of the Lich King area. Which it probably is where it gets its inspiration from, but this dungeon itself was in Cataclysm. We have a priest for a healer, so I get my nice little disc bubble. And halfway through here, like, we didn't really have trouble, but like one of the people died, and I was kind of thinking like, what the hell's going on? And our healer's like, oh yeah, it's like the first time I've healed in forever. Which we didn't have too many problems though, because it is a time walking dungeon. It's not like a super mythic with a timer or anything, and the mobs are pretty easy. Since I've been doing the mythic keystones, everything else just seems like a piece of cake. It's no problem at all. And it's really cool because the old style gear drops, it's not like the random gear is actually from the Cataclysm age. So if you want to get yourself some transmog armor, now's a great opportunity to. Also, I picked up a few leather, and I seen they were selling for 30 gold a piece, and I was like, holy crap, I need to farm this one time walking dungeon just to get the leather. This is the shade of Sylvanas, or like, you know, it's like the echo of Sylvanas, but it looks just like her, so I thought that was pretty awesome. I like attacking her, and right here, I think it's where our group mate goes down. He kind of stood in that right there, but I think he probably could have got a bubble and survived, but it's not that big of a deal. This is all just for fun. We're not taking it serious. We're not getting all butthurt if somebody dies. It's not like our repair bill's that big. And I click on him and I slash cry. So it's like, Moltritz cries on your shoulder. So he knows that I felt bad. And here's the part, he summons all these ghouls, and I didn't remember this at all. I was like, man, what do I do? Well, Moltritz, what are you supposed to do, man? Am I supposed to kill this one, or are we just supposed to avoid the shadow? Then I was like, oh crap, we need to focus one of these down, and we're not doing it quick enough. And it just is not working out. And our group wipes. The one teammate that's still alive is the one that died in the beginning of the fight. And I type in chat right here, I'm like, I think we need to target just one of them. And everybody gets their shit together though, guys. Don't worry. Don't think this whole video is going to be just one big fail from a failed group. That was our only wipe of this whole run. And the reason I'm going back and commentating over this was, it was like 4 o'clock this morning when I was doing it. So I figured it'd be a nicer touch for me to roll back and we could talk about different things, you know, go over the gameplay and have like a retrospective, or like actually not retro, but like a, you know, a perspective on what's going to happen, because I already know what happens because I ran it. So I hope everybody's enjoying this far. I want to say thank you for viewing it again. I really do appreciate it. Like, it makes me feel so good when I see people view the stuff and I see minutes watched on it. I'm like, yeah, people actually like this, you know, like we get to hang out and have a little chit chat. The group's getting all ready, we're getting together. She summoned a couple ghouls, but now that we have, you know, the idea figured out, we got the mechanic figured out, this fight is going to be nothing. And I don't think they designed these really to be super hard. I actually feel like they like scale you back to 85, so our level says 85, but we still have awesome armor. We're not like overpowered for the dungeon, but it's not necessarily hard, guys. I know I said that before, but I'm just saying it again. These are designed basically to go through with relative ease, and I feel like it's more for the sake of actually just redoing the dungeon than it is for an achievement to be like, oh, I completed the end time, you know, time walking dungeon. Ooh, look at me. It's like, no, that shit's easy, man. It was just like supposed to be like that. I told him, I was like, I'll mark one of these ghouls when it comes up, so we're all good to go. So I go over here, I throw Ets on him, but everybody is pretty much on the same page because I told him to follow in the chat once the ghouls started to spawn. And we get this ghoul down really, really quick. And I think it's going to cancel the effect, so I run right back in. I'm like, oh yeah, let's get the boss. And I'm like, oh geez, the shadow's closing in on me. I better get out of there. I got out with a nick of time, though. It almost had me, but you can't take Moltrits down. I mean, plus, no, we don't have any other druids. I was going to say they could throw a battle res on me, but I could get some sort of bubble or something from a priest, man. Help me out a little bit. I've been working on a little bit of a tanking guide. If you guys would be interested in that, let me know. It's kind of more of a long-term project, but I can speed it up if anybody in particular wants to see that, because I want to help out all my fans. If you guys are watching me, I'm going to help you out, because it really, you know, I appreciate it, and it makes me feel good having a community. And it drops pretty decent gear. It's time walking gear, but it's like I think 35 or 840. So it's really not, like, I've been running mythic level keystone sits and shit, so like, you know, 830 thing's nothing. I think my item level's 860? Yeah, it's 862. Because I got my legendary and it bumped me up a little bit. I know a lot of people probably have higher gear than I do, but I'm not, like, I'm more of a casual player. Like, I come home, I play for a couple hours, probably 2 hours of just like play where I don't record anything. I do my dailies, I do some emissary quest, and then after that, mainly any sort of playtime I do is specifically for a video. Like this right here, I would have normally been questing in the morning, but I was like, you know what? I need to get myself a dungeon video out because it's been a little while. And I was hitting disenchant, and then somebody was like, oh, well, I kind of need that for a transmog, and I'm like, oh, geez. Moltrits, why haven't I been, you know, just greeting it instead of disenchanting it so I can get the transmog in my big book of appearances, which that was a great upgrade when they turned into Legion, like when the new expansion came out and Legion came out, and they said they're making the transmog, you know, like the whole transmogrification system where it stores your loots in like their little catalog of items. That was great because I remember old school, people had so much stuff in their bags and like just in their bank in general that they didn't have any room for mats or anything. Like, and also I'm happy that the reagent bank came out. Blizzard's definitely been doing some nice UI updates over the years, including their graphics update just as Legion was getting ready to launch. Like all the characters, the spell animations, everything. I mean, it keeps the game fresh. I don't know about you guys, but it always feels like you're happy to see something when you're almost awed by it. Like you can look at the armor and you're like, well, I've been looking at, you know, similar stuff for years now, but since they updated it, it's just like, holy crap, this looks great. I like it. We have to run around this circle and collect all these shards, basically like engage the boss to start the fight. These groups aren't bad. If you notice, when I do a AoE, like a crowd control, I get a speed increase, a sizable speed increase, and that's from my legendary that I got. I got it out of an emissary chest from High Mountain. I was doing my dailies, and I literally like did the drum one, where you get the drums in High Mountain, and that was my last one out of the 4, and I said, I better turn on my recorder so I can record if I get a legendary, because I know the emissary caches are supposed to give you like a better chance at a legendary. So I was like, I probably should do that. Then I'm like, nah, Moltrits, you're being silly, bro. You're just gonna have like 300 clips on your computer of you opening emissary caches and not getting anything. And then all of a sudden, bam, guess what? It was a freaking legendary. I was like, holy crap. I wish I had that recorded. Let me take a drink of water. Man, this has been a commentary so far. Woo! Just doing it live for you guys. No cutouts or nothing. I don't like to piece my commentaries together. I don't know if you guys realized, but when I do a commentary, I do it once straight through. If I mess up, I'm gonna do the whole thing over again. I've been like where I've had 8 minutes of commentary like I'm doing right now into a video, and I just like flatline mess up, and I'm like, you know what? I think I'm gonna redo it. I was like, I messed up a little bit too hard. Not to the point where I'm saying something that doesn't make any sense, but like I'll just get stuck on my words, or I'll start stuttering, or I'll like completely lose my train of thought for like 30 seconds. And I don't want to edit all of this stuff together. It feels more authentic when you're coming here and it's like almost a back and forth conversation. Like you can kind of understand what I'm thinking as stuff's going on and everything. This is the echo of what's her name there? Oh yeah, it's that Juna. Or shit, I need to turn up my resolution on my playback. I need to turn that bad boy up. You guys know who she is though. Gosh, Moltritz. See, I do stuff like that, then I'm like, oh geez, I just ruined the commentary. But you guys, I just got done talking about it, so I'm gonna leave that part in there. And I'm the only one left up. I pop a heal on myself. I'm like, I better freaking knock her out. And she's down. Girl, sit down. Torbjorn. The Torbjorns from Overwatch. If you guys haven't been checking out Overwatch, you really should. I've been having a lot of gameplays. I'll put more on my channel. Like, I love doing my Overwatch commentaries. I don't know if you guys can tell. It's just like a real joy of mine. I definitely love World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft is always gonna be my #1 love, my main thing on my channel, something that I always strive to get better at or do more of or to help people with. But Overwatch has really caught my eye, and the reason I started it, if you guys go back like a month in my videos, I did the Sombra Overwatch trailer from BlizzCon, when BlizzCon was going on, like the second day in the BlizzCon, or actually it was like the first day of BlizzCon, Sombra was announced, and I did the whole trailer. I did a reaction to it, and it was actually a legit reaction, not like a lot of people like where they watch the trailer, then download it, then make a reaction. Like I downloaded it without watching the trailer. I didn't know anything about Overwatch, had no idea who the characters were, and I did my reaction, and just from watching that trailer, I thought, man, this game looks pretty cool. I looked up a gameplay, and I was like, man, it looks even better, but it's a little bit cartoonish. Like, I'm not really sure if I'd like that sort of stuff. I popped my Frenzy Rejuvenation right there, because I realized I was getting down on health. I also popped Rage of the Sleeper and Bart skin, so that's why I went from dropping really fast there when I was tanking to like all of a sudden my damage just stopped. Like my damage mitigation went up through the roof right there at that moment. That's why the healer was able to top me back off. But going back to Overwatch, I started playing it, and I've always been a long time FPS player, like first person shooter. My first introduction ever to gaming was Call of Duty 4 for the Xbox 360. I was so amazed. I was like, oh my gosh, you can actually play against other people? This is crazy. And I know I'm getting off track, guys, of like World of Warcraft, but I just kind of want to have this conversation. I want these dungeon videos, if I go back and commentate on them, to be more of just like, you know, you guys get a feel for who I am as a person and what I like and the things I like to do. So back to Call of Duty 4, that was like my main thing when I first started playing. That was like my first introduction. I was so amazed, like I was saying, and I was bad at it. I was just bad at Call of Duty 4, and my brother was so much better than me, and he's 6 years older than me, so I was like, man, I have to beat my bro at this. Like, I really want to badly. And there's these swirls and things coming down on the ground. I didn't realize that we're supposed to go to the middle to the hourglass, but I scroll over and I see the cog on the hourglass, so I know you can actually hit that. So I'm like, oh, that's what those charges are. The group's dying. The healer just died, so I was like, I better go ahead and click that. It takes the time back, and I get my cooldowns back. The healer comes back to life. Like, how great is that? That's absolutely a cool feature for a fight. I wish they incorporated that into a new dungeon, but I could see like why they don't, because it would become really repetitive if like, you know, a boss in this dungeon, a boss in that dungeon, and a boss here all had the time warp feature to go back in time. I just think it's really cool. It's unique. It's great for this fight. But back to Call of Duty 4, I had to figure out how to get better than my brother. I was like, I know I can beat him if I'm just determined enough to do it. I'll be able to do it. So I practiced, I played for weeks, I saved up all summer when I was in school, and finally got myself an Xbox 360, got myself a copy of Call of Duty 4. It was just before World at War came out by Treyarch. I was like so into all the different like Activision, Treyarch, Infinity Ward. I know Activision's like the one who like animates it, but they have a say in what's going on too in the game. And here's this big awesome chest, and I didn't realize, like, everybody started leaving. I was like, what's going on? I didn't see nothing really pop up to indicate that it was the end of the dungeon, but it is, guys. This went by really quick. I liked having this conversation. Blah, now I'm messing up my words. This went by really quick. I liked having this conversation. I really hope we can do this again and just like chillax. So you guys can know a little bit about my background and know what's going on in my life and different things. Maybe when I have like a bug or a concern with my channel, or like with something in World of Warcraft, or just want to get something out there and air it, then I'll come here and we'll do some dungeon videos, and I can just have a long, nice, rambling commentary over top of that. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. This has been Moltritz. I have other videos on my channel. I do patch content. I do gameplays just like this one. And I also do Overwatch matches. Guys, I sincerely hope you have a great day. I really thank you for watching this far. It means a lot to me. Take it easy, and peace off.